Joining me now is Democratic Congressman Gil Cisneros of California. He serves on the House Armed Services Committee. We just heard from the Pentagon. You had the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth talking about the status of the war, and he says we have all the time in the world to make a serious deal. The ball is in Iran's court. The President of the United States, President Trump, saying he's got plenty of time. Do we?
Look, the American people want this war to end now. It's putting extreme financial pressure on all of us. Gas prices continue to rise. The president's economic policies with tariffs continue to rise. The cost of groceries continue to rise. Healthcare has risen with his economic policies. He has just added another burden to the people who need their cars. In my district, right, people rely on their vehicles. They need to fill up their tanks to get back and forth from work to home. It is putting an extreme burden on the American people, and this war needs to end now.
You know, when you look at what is happening here, in an op-ed, there is a Republican senator writing, look, we said 60 days, we've got 60 days. Beyond that window, we don't want to see this go on without congressional approval. Do you have a sense that there is enough bipartisan support to rein in the president on the length of this war?
Well, I can tell you on the Democratic side, there is support to rein in this war. Hopefully my Republican colleagues will stick to what they've said. No troops on the ground, no more than 60 days. Right now we're at that window, right? So they need for us to take back, as the House of Representatives, the complete Congress, our responsibility to declare war and to authorize military action. We cannot keep turning that over to this administration and let him continue to act on this Trump war without the authority of Congress.
You, as well as everyone in Congress, knows you've got to have enough Republicans on your side to try to get that done. We'll see what happens going forward. I do want to talk to you about the economy, because as you mentioned at the very onset of this, people in the United States are very upset about their own personal economies and how they're being able to go day by day to deal with the high prices of gas and other goods. There's a new Fox poll that came out and showing that voters believe Democrats would do a better job on the economy over Republicans. This is the first time that Democrats have polled better than Republicans on this issue since 2010, which is a little bit of a backhanded compliment, but it's certainly a compliment in and of itself right now. What's the first thing you think needs to be done to make this economy better for everyday Americans?
Well, one of the first things we want to focus on is healthcare, right? That is why we have kind of, as the Democratic caucus in the House of Representatives, is focused on that policy, the Affordable Care Act subsidies, lowering the costs, making sure that we're protecting Medicare and Medicaid, ensuring that people can get preventive care rather than having to seek treatment at an emergency room. This war needs to end, right? These tariffs need to end. And these are all things that we want to work on as a Democratic Congress, when we are going to take the majority and we are going to push this agenda to ensure that we can help lower the costs and make things more affordable for the American people. And look, it's no surprise, right? When you look throughout the history, the last few presidents, right, it has been Democratic presidents always pulling a Republican economic crisis, from the ground up, curing it and taking care of it. So it doesn't surprise me that those poll numbers came out saying they trust Democrats more now in the economy.
I do have to ask you about what is happening in California in the governor's race. There was a debate for California governor. There will be another one here on CNN. Who are you backing at this point?
I'm backing Javier Becerra. I worked with him when he was at the Secretary at DHS, of Health and Human Services, and I was at the Pentagon as Undersecretary for Personnel Readiness. We worked together on healthcare. I know his work ethic. I know what he's done. He's got the background both as the Attorney General in California and as well as a former member of Congress and serving in the state legislature. So he is the one that I believe can support and keep moving California forward.
I also want to ask you about this situation when it comes to, obviously, the jet fuel, very, very expensive. You're hearing from CEOs saying that the prices are going to remain high. They're about 20% up for those who are buying plane tickets. And now we have this bailout on the table for Spirit Airlines, a $500 million potential bailout for Spirit. We're hearing from Republicans saying they don't like it. That Representative Keith Self of Texas said so. Do you support bailing out the airline?
I don't support bailing out the airline. They've had economic troubles long beyond this crisis started. We don't need to be bailing out the airlines. What we need to do is end this war and get costs down, get the fuel costs down. That's what's going to help the American people.
Congressman Gil Cisneros, thank you so much for your time. Have a great weekend.